when you try and sit down to film and the world is calling you. This is Shanti from Shanti TV. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Shanti and I do videos every week. If you're a returning subscriber, hello! There's a lot of people that are coming from all over the world and that is so exciting to me. So big hugs to all of you that have returned back to my channel to spend a little time with me today. Thank you for returning. Hit the bell notification button so that you can be informed when I put out new videos. Those of you who know me and are returning back to my channel, you may notice that I look a little bit different. I did a little change up here, and sometimes in life you have to do a little bit of a change up, and I was just feeling very blah. And so I think spring is around the corner. I'm going on a vacation soon, and I really just wanted to kind of change it up. So I decided to chop my hair off. So as you can see, it is chopped off, and I cut quite a bit of it off. I hadn't cut it actually in a really, really long time, but I am really liking this bob. I think it looks pretty good. So I like to change it up. So that's just how I am. Since I am going on vacation, I've kind of had vacationing thoughts in my mind, and so I am currently wearing a piece of clothing that I most likely will take on vacation with me. And of course, I thought, what is the perfect vacation travel bag that I would use? And that's kind of what I've been thinking about. And in the meantime, I thought, well, while I'm doing all this, why don't I do a comparison between the Neverfull MM and the Neverfull GM, since I recently acquired a GM. And I thought that would be a good comparison to do for those of you who may want to know what the differences are. You know, the Neverfull is one of the most iconic Louis Vuitton bags out there. It is probably one of the most popular, other than the Speedy. Some people love the Neverfull, some people hate the Neverfull. Some people say, oh, well, everyone has one. It's so used, it's so, it's too popular, so I don't want to have it. Honestly, it suits my lifestyle, so I have 4 of them in my collection. It's kind of crazy, but I have loved the Neverfull from the moment I saw it. So I am definitely a tote girl. It definitely fits into my lifestyle. I travel for work. And so one of the things you need to assess is, do I need a tote bag, right? So I travel for work, and so the Neverfull was like a no-brainer to me. It is probably one of the reasons why the most popular type of bag that I have in my collection are totes. So just to give you a little history of my purchases on the Neverfull. So I purchased my first Neverfull GM in Damier Ebene in May of 2012, and I returned it after having a quality issue. So the GM is so large that I wanted that when I wore it, I wanted to be able to cinch it. Well, I cinched it from the moment that I bought it. And after maybe a week or 2, the dark leather pulls that are on the side started coming apart. And so I thought, I don't really want to do this. So maybe I shouldn't have a Damier Ebene, even though that's the one that I really, really want. I'll return this. I don't even want a Neverfull at this point. So I ended up getting a different bag, and I waited to get my first Neverfull. Just kind of interesting. So I returned that one. I didn't pick up another one until December 2012. And the bag that I purchased and the print was the Neverfull MM in Damier Azure. So this is the first Neverfull that I picked up back in 2012. And I chose to pick up the Damier Azur. Well, number one, I think it's beautiful. I didn't have anything like that in my collection. I was really afraid to buy it, but I was like, it's so beautiful, I really want it. And it had the vachetta instead of the dark brown leather, which is a little bit more stiff, not as pliable. So I thought, you know, I probably won't have issues with that bag. So that's the, you know, next bag that I bought. Okay, so then in 2013, and I don't know the exact date, I decided that I was going to try the Damier Ebene, which was my first love. This is the bag that I originally wanted, that I did not, you know, buy. I bought it in the GM, returned it, and I decided to bring that back into my collection. So I purchased that, and then in 2014, so I bought that bag in 2013, I'm not sure what month, and then in August 2014, I bought the monogram. So this is the only Louis Vuitton bag that I have in my collection that I have what we call a trifecta. So I have all three prints of the same bag, and it is the only bag in my collection where I have this many multiples, and I bought another one. So I had been really dying for a world tour version, but I never purchased it. I wanted to purchase it after I got married in 2018. Didn't do it because I was really nervous about buying a GM and then hating it and not wanting it anymore, and then having to try and sell it with my initials on it. So instead of doing that, I purchased the monogram GM in 2021. So this is what it looks like. It's a ginormous, as you can see. Beautiful and ginormous all at the same time. So that is the bag that I bought in 2021. It's my newest bag. I'm happy to have all these totes in my collection because they do get used. The tote bag is my workhorse bag. It is the bag that I use every time I travel. I did add, obviously, the on-the-go GM tote to give these guys a break because it's crazy. The bag that I probably use the least amount is this one, because of, you know, being afraid of color transfer and, you know, all that stuff. This bag, hands down, is the most used bag that I have when I am traveling for work, hands down. It is my first reach that I grab for. When I am at home, the only time I grab them is if I have to carry my laptop. Other than that, I don't wear the Neverfull totes. I don't wear the MM or the GM at home. They sit in my closet. And so that's kind of an interesting thing, you know, because you have to really assess why you want a tote. So, without further ado, let's get into the comparison of the MM versus the GM. Okay, so here is the MM. This is a 10-year-old bag. It is still loved, it is still used, and it's kind of amazing that this is a 10-year-old bag, but it is. It is 10 years old. I bought it in 2013. So this is the MM. The size of the MM in length, it is 12.6 inches. In height, it's 11.4 inches, and the width is 6.7 inches. And this is really where you can kind of see the bag. Okay, so that's the MM. On the GM, it's huge. The GM is 15.7 inches across, 13 inches in height, and the width is 7.9 inches. And this is where you can really see the difference. So I am going to take these two bags and see if I can show you the difference between the two. Quite a large difference in the size. This is kind of hard to do in one shot. This is what it looks like side by side. Okay, I'll be right back because I want to measure the handle drop. So I just went and got my tape measure. It looks like the drop on the handles are the same, which I'm a little surprised about. It's about 9 inches. I was kind of surprised, but I thought one might be longer than the other, so I'm not sure if other people are showing the same measurement on the handle drop, but it's the same. So there you go. And there's Louis back there. Okay, so that is the size. Material. So we all know that the Neverfull is made out of the beautiful monogram coated canvas. And the monogram in particular has the cowhide leather trim, also known as vachetta. On the inside, so this is the newer model, so my inside looks a little bit different. It is a textile lining on the inside. And then it also has gold hardware. Features gold hardware. So you have gold hardware here. You have gold hardware on the interior as well. So that's the material that it's made of. The material honestly is the most durable material unless you take a knife to it and cut it. But it's you know, it's easy to clean. You can wipe it off. It's just durable. It's strong and light all at the same time. That is the big draw for me for the Neverfull. When I'm traveling, I don't want to be carrying, you know, I don't want my bag to be already heavy and I'm going to be putting extra things in it to make it even more heavy. So I really appreciate the Louis Vuitton travel heritage, which is what they were originally known for. And I like to travel as light as I can when I can, right? The design. So let's talk a little bit more about the design of the bag, which so many people already know about, right? I mean, come on, it's the Neverfull. So if you can see this bag in the shot, you can see that this bag tapers outwards, which gives it that kind of Neverfull look. It is not a straight up and down tote. It kind of goes out to the sides, it flares out a little bit. Because it's made of canvas, it molds, right? So this part is the widest, but it still molds. Like when you're, you know, carrying it under your arm, it just kind of can mold to your body a little bit more. When you're in a plane and you're trying to put it under the seat, it will mold to whatever you need. Yeah, if you need to, you know, squish it down a little bit, it can handle it. Like it really handles those things well. Whereas if you have like, you know, the on-the-go tote, there's no squishing. You're not going to be squishing anything because it's a structured tote. And a lot of times actually on a plane, my GM tote does not fit under the chair in front of me anymore, and I'm having to put the GM tote up above, which I don't necessarily like to do because I like to grab things during my flight. So that is the downfall of the GM tote that I have. But anyway, let's move on. So you do have a hook closure. Okay, so the Neverfull, you can hook close inside. If you stuff it though, there won't be any hooking. Okay, it has a zip pocket on the interior. Same as the GM. Zip pocket on the interior. We're going to talk about the interior pocket and the difference in the sizes a little bit. I do have an organizer in there. That's what you're seeing inside. So this, actually both of these bags, my MM and my GM, both of these bags came with an interior zippered pouch. I did end up selling one of them because I surely don't need two. And I watched other videos, and some people are saying that the zippered pouches are the same size. I specifically sold my smaller one, which was in my MM, and kept my GM because it was bigger. So both of my bags came with a zippered pouch. I ended up selling the one from the MM because this one was larger. I have watched other YouTube videos, and some people are saying that they're the same size, but I specifically sold my MM pouch because, first of all, I didn't need two of these pouches. And second of all, that one was smaller. So I ended up selling that pouch. One of the reasons I don't need two of these is because it's a flat pouch. When I originally bought my Neverfull Damier Azur, the prices were much lower. And we'll get into pricing as one of the last topics. But I think one of the strategies that Louis Vuitton is trying to employ is, I think they're trying to add little things to their already existing items that help you feel a little bit more comfortable about paying more. The price increases that they have had in the last several years have been, frankly, out of control in a lot of ways. I understand standard pricing increases, but the ones that they've had have been really, really big. So that is what it is. But anyway, here's the flat pouch that it comes with. You know, it's flat. It's a flat pouch. The moment you stuff it is when it starts looking wonky, and you'll have something that just looks wonky. But anyway, this is the one that I decided to keep. So this does come with the Neverfulls that you buy now. If you look on the resale sites, they sell, some people just don't even use them, so they just sell them. And then if you buy an older Louis Vuitton, they did not come with these. So on both of my Neverfulls, or in all Neverfulls, you're going to have a D-ring. A D-ring is really good for hooking stuff onto it that you want to keep secure, that when you know you don't want someone taking something out of your bag. So I really love this option. You can hook keys onto it, like you need to find your keys in this big huge hole, and you just want to find your keys really fast, you could hook your keys onto there. If I can get the D-ring, I'll take it because I think it's just extra functionality that you can have. And obviously it has a double handle and not one. So that is that. Let's talk about functionality, because at the end of the day, if you're trying to figure out which one you should be buying, it all comes down to functionality. So, as I said, I travel for work. I need to be able to fit my laptop. That's my most important thing that I carry. If I don't carry that, then I'm not working. So I'm gonna go grab my laptop and a few other items so you can see what fits. So I went to go get my work laptop, which is a 15-inch PC. My personal computer is a MacBook Pro 13-inch. So obviously if the 15-inch fits, the 13-inch will fit inside the GM. So I packed my GM just to show you everything that fits. So let's do that. I do have an organizer inside this bag. So there's my 15-inch laptop. Okay, so you always, when you're traveling, I always carry like a sweater with me because they think it's like Antarctica in there. They freeze you out on the plane. I'm always cold, so I always bring a sweater or some kind of blanket with me, honestly. And when I kind of packed this thinking, okay, let me kind of pack it as if I was going on vacation. So I took the sweater out so you can see. I'm gonna take the laptop out so it'll be a little bit easier for me to show you what else is in here. So I have a Felici pochette in there. I have, a little bag that would carry like all of my computer stuff. My earpods, my chargers, my watch charger. I have tissues, I have snacks, I have a couple of other pouches that keep personal items. I have the flat Neverfull pouch in there, which I would keep like my passport and everything like that in there. So if I put everything in here, including the laptop. I'm gonna put my laptop back in. If I put my laptop back in, my sweater back in. So even if I have put all those things in here, I still have room. Oh God, it's hard for you guys to see. But I still have room, as you can see over here, to put even more things. Now, obviously, the more you put in here, the heavier it gets. It's pretty heavy right now. But when I am traveling, I normally put this on top of my rolling suitcase so that I'm not carrying this by itself because this is very, very heavy. So that is another thing that is helpful. I'm going to unpack this and take the same things that I have in here. I'm going to use a different organizer. I have a smaller one. But I'm gonna use the same laptop so you can see if that fits. I'll be right back. I took everything out of the MM and fit it into, I took everything out of the GM and just put it into the MM. And it fits, however, it is doing this. Remember, I have an organizer inside. I don't love this. It's kind of pushing out to the sides. And yeah, that's kind of, it's fine here, but I'm not really loving this. I fit everything in there though. Everything that was in the GM, I fit in here. If, I have a little bit of room to spare on the top, but this 15-inch laptop is really, it's doing a lot. I don't love it. I just don't love it. I would be concerned if you had a 15-inch laptop and you were using it with an organizer. It's a little too much. So if I tried to fit it vertically, it then sticks out. So that's a problem. So on my GM, I was just curious to see if the 15-inch would stick out, and it does. In height, it still sticks out if I wanted to fit it vertically. But in the GM, I have a lot more room to navigate with my 15-inch laptop. A MacBook 13-inch laptop would not be an issue. I have it here. Here's what it looks like. If I had to bring this guy, okay, why am I having an issue? What's going on here? Yeah. Okay, so I have my I have my 13-inch MacBook Pro, and you can see that it comes out, it comes to the back, and it still is kind of doing that, but not in the way that the 15-inch was. Like this, I'm comfortable with. This, I don't have an issue with. But with the organizer and the 15-inch, that was a little too much, I think, for the Neverfull. Could it handle it? Yeah, but I would be afraid of the canvas just stretching a little bit too much. It doesn't feel comfortable to me. So that is the functionality of the MM versus the GM. I feel like, guys, I'm over here lifting weights for this because this is heavy, and to be doing this up and down on a video is my workout for today. So I would say, yeah, this definitely is more of a win in terms of fitting a 15-inch laptop. If you have a 13-inch laptop and you need to carry a bunch of stuff, this is a lot. This is a lot for sure. Okay, I'm taking the laptop out so I can talk to you guys about what's in here because it's driving me a little bit nuts. It's hard to maneuver with all this stuff in here. So these two inside pockets, let's see if one is bigger than the other. Yes, one is absolutely bigger than the other. So the MM is smaller. The GM is bigger. That makes sense to me. Both of these have the same interior, which is the newer interior, which does not have the beautiful fleur-de-lis, which I like. So it is very plain with the Louis Vuitton in, let's show you this one. Very plain print, whereas the older model had script writing and the beautiful interior. As far as I know, the World Tour version, or the monogram version, I should call it, does come with the original lining that the Neverfull was using. So if you want to get the monogram, then that would be different on the inside. So yeah, All right, so price. Let's talk about price, because I mean, isn't that a thing? It should be a thing. Back in the day when I had purchased my MM, I paid around $1,260 for it. The GM I bought in 2021, I purchased for $1,900. Now, the MM is $2,030. So above the $1,000 mark now, we're in the $2,000 territory, and the GM is $2,100. So obviously the prices have skyrocketed. They have basically doubled since I purchased them back in the day. And I mean, that was 10 years ago, but still, this is, it's a lot. It's doubled in price. And, however, there's a reason why when you hear people say, oh, everybody has a Neverfull, you know, I don't want it because everyone has one. Well, everyone has one because it's very practical. It's very practical. It, you know, fits the bill when you're traveling. It's a nice piece to have. Do you need to have multiples in your collection? Absolutely not. I mean, if I were to pick, if I had to do this all over again and just pick one or two, okay, let's just go with one or two. The first one I would pick, most likely, based on my needs right now, because I have to carry this huge laptop, I would go back to the Damier Ebene and I would buy the GM, which is funny enough, it was my first choice when I first wanted to buy one. It was my first choice. If I had to do it again, that's the first one that I would buy. The second one that I would buy would be a monogram MM, obviously in monogram, with my initials on it. That would be the second one I have, and I would get rid of everything else. That's what I would do. Yeah, that's what I would do if I had to do this all again. It's nice to have all three prints. It's nice to have the trifecta. It's nice to have those options, but you know, it's a lot. I have 4 bags that are the same exact bag. 3 of them are the same exact size, different prints, and then I have the GM. So I don't know, we'll see. We'll see if I ever get rid of any. Right now, I don't have the need to, but maybe one day I will get rid of them. Sometimes I think, oh, well, I'll keep them, I'll pass them on to Priya or something if she ever needs one, but I don't know, we'll see. So in conclusion, yeah, that's what I would do for me. And again, you have to assess your need. What is the need? Do you have this huge laptop that you have to carry around? Because if you don't, then the GM is a bit much. The GM is nice because it allows you to get in and out of it a lot quicker. Oh, the one thing I wanted to tell you is, I told you that I carry these items on top of my luggage suitcase. I find that the GM base is a little bit larger than my travel, my rolling travel luggage, so it doesn't sit as perfectly on the top. So sometimes it's a little bit more unstable. So that is the thing, so I have to be careful with that. But it does provide me with some of the room that I need when I'm traveling and you feel like you need to carry extra things. So there are times where, okay, you fill your bag and it may not be full, but then you're going to the airport and you're grabbing a water, you're grabbing some snacks, you're grabbing, and those get literally thrown on top of my bag. Like, hurry up and throw it on top of my bag. So that's why for me, the lifestyle that I currently have right now, I would choose that. It's nice to have the option of the GM and the MM, I would say. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's video on the comparison. I will actually be doing back-to-back videos today because next week is gonna be kind of crazy for me because I have to get prepared for vacation. So I won't be able to I won't be able to video anything for you guys. So I'm gonna have to do back-to-back videos today, and that's okay. So yeah, you'll probably see me with the same hair, same makeup, you know, all that jazz. But I'm gonna go do that, and then, yeah, have a great week, guys. It's good seeing you. Thank you for joining me. Ciao.